So I'm delighted to say that Ethan Laird of Manchester United has joined us. Ethan, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, thanks, Jordan. You?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Firstly, I've got to start with the achievements of Marcus Rashford that's going on right now. Fellow academy graduate, you've seen his influence on the pitch. What's it like seeing his influence off the pitch, looking at how he's using his platform for all the good that he's doing at the minute?
Yeah, it's an inspiration. I mean, it's just something you would want to do for yourself, and the fact that he's been able to do it, it just shows us that if we put our mind to it, we can do it as well. So props to him, props to him.
Yeah, and you've seen his support for the Black Lives Matter movement going on all of his socials, posts of solidarity. What's that like for you as a young black athlete, seeing all the positives and negatives that have been happening because of the protests?
I mean, I'm just happy that we're taking a stand, you can say, because this has been happening for a while now. I remember when I was about 11 and we went to Spain for a tournament, and we were playing against a certain team. Obviously, I won't say the team name. And even then, there was racism there, and I didn't know how to deal with it because I'm so young, and it's like, it didn't make any sense to me. But then, obviously, the coaches took action on it. And obviously, because I was, again, so young, I didn't really know what to do. And they're just saying how, if this ever happens to you again, you take a stand kind of thing. So racism has always been like involved in this football thing. And I've had a few experiences of it. And I'm just glad that we're finally just being like, listen, enough is enough kind of thing. And we're standing for it. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of uplifting because you can see people supporting it. It's no longer kind of being like an ignorance, like, because people are now learning more about it, because of course it's like a global thing now. So loads of more people are learning more about it, so they can prevent it. So I'm happy, to be honest.
Yeah, so you've seen probably one of the harder parts of this Black Lives movement that's going on is the fact that it's been done in a global pandemic that's going around with COVID-19. It's affecting pretty much everybody's lives, from footballers to key workers. I mean, how has it been for you dealing with lockdown? Because I understood that you lived with someone who also plays for Man United, but now you two have gone separate because of everything. So what's lockdown been like for you personally?
Personally, I've kind of found it as a blessing in disguise, because it's football for me, especially this past year, it's just been busy. Injuries, this and that. It's just giving me time to be like, right, take a break, let's focus.
Yeah.
Remember what your goals are, remember where you want to be, and keep working towards that goal kind of thing. So in a way, for me, I know the pandemic is just a horrible thing in itself, but what I've taken out of it is like, just remember your focus, remember where you want to be, and only really you can get yourself there kind of thing. So it's like, you can't really rely on your coaches, this and that, because it's your goal and that's where you want to be. So I've kind of, it's been hard, of course, because obviously not being able to see family for a certain point, seeing your friends, this and that, of course, it can drive some people insane kind of thing. But I just made sure that I was focused within myself, and I was like, right, cool, I'm going to use this time productively and do what I need to do to be the best me.
Have you learned anything different in lockdown? Like, I've seen lots of people like picking up different hobbies and picking up like new skills and stuff. Have you learned anything?
Yeah, actually. So I ended up doing a bit of Spanish on Duolingo. There's a point where I was just like, right, I am getting bored now. So I just decided to go on Duolingo and picked up a little bit of Spanish. Obviously, I'm not that good yet, but I'm getting there.
No, it'll be, I mean, eventually, hopefully you'll be talking in really good Spanish language eventually. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, everything's been difficult, as you mentioned before. What's training been like now? Because everywhere, shops included, away from football, there's been like measures been put into everything to sort of keep the 2 meters distance and keeping training safe. What's training been like for a footballer? right now?
I mean, of course, you miss the actual bit of being able to play with and against other people, because that's a big part of football in itself, because it's a competitive game and you're losing that competitiveness and you don't know what to do. But again, there is other things that you can work on with football, and that's what I stuck my mind to, because obviously you want to be playing with your mates, you want to be playing against them, having little rows with them, just getting that competitive spirit up. But obviously there's other bits of the game that you can work on for yourself. So obviously I've been working on my fitness, doing as much as I can, especially for my position. It's like, if I can build my base level of fitness up as high as I can, when it comes to the season, I'll hopefully be flying from the start, kind of thing. There's physical things you can work on, because I know that the way I play, I have to be kind of sharp. So I've been working on my legs, my speed. So it's just, like I said before, it's been like a blessing in disguise, because there's certain stuff that I couldn't really work on during the season, because it's during the season, you have games, you have to recover. But now I can work on now. So it's been hard, as in like you wouldn't be able to do what you usually do. But again, you just need to tap into that inner focus and just know where you want to be and work on the stuff you need to work on.
On the training point, you're training with the first team now, and what's the difference between all the coaches that you've worked for under United, both Niels and Ollie? I mean, I imagine the step up from the under-18s to the 23s was quite a big one, but then from the 23s to the first team, working with the world-class players that we've got, what's the step up been like for you?
Wow. So 18s to 23s, the way they've done that, and because I made my debut for the 23s when I was 16, innit? So I was kind of gradually already getting used to the 23s football, which was like obviously good for me. So like going from 18s to 23s, it was a step up as in the physicality, but I was kind of closer than I should have been, kind of thing. So I was like, it was more comfortable with that. Now, first from 23s to first team, I don't know how to explain it, but it's what you think you know in 23s, and then when you go to first team, you just need to tap into what they're doing quickly, because I think the main difference is their speed of like what they process in their brain. For example, like we would have a lot of time on the ball in the 23s, and like we'll be able to suss out our next pass, this and that. With first team, it's like you have to have what's in your head already. You have to know what you're gonna do, and you're gonna have to execute it perfection. Like everything's just quick, and obviously you can be kind of like baffled by it at first. At first, I was like, I don't know if I can cope at this level, kind of thing, because it's just hard to get used to at first, because you're used to doing one thing and being at this level for most of the season. Then when you get that step up, of course you need to step up yourself. So it's like, right, you need to take in as much as you can, learn, listen to what people are saying, what people are doing, apply that to your game. So I can vouch for the difference between 23s and first team, because that's a big difference, but it's something that is kind of like challenging, which is a good thing, because you want to be challenged and it makes you an overall better player. So,
Is there any rivalry within you lads in the 23s on who's going to get to the first team quicker? Because you've seen Tahith's made the step up, you've made the step up, James Garner's made the step up. Is there sort of like a bit of banter between you, as in like you're going to get there first?
Not really, because we understand that everyone is on their own journey. Just because I may make first team first doesn't mean someone below me won't take my position in the next year, kind of thing, and stay there, kind of thing. So we kind of understand, yeah, there's a little bit of banter thrown, but there's a level of it where it's like we understand that people are on a different journeys. For example, even myself, I was basically injured for a year, and that year I was flying, so I should have been, you could say, had a little bit of a step up from there. But then I was seeing other kids stepping up, and it's like, I know I could be there, kind of thing, but it's a journey. I just realized, listen, stuff are gonna happen, basically, and you just have to know how to react and deal with it. And obviously, you just need to have faith that what you have is what they want, and you're gonna get there, kind of thing. So yeah, there's a little bit of banter, but we all know we're on a different journey. So
what was it like making your first team debut in the Europa League? Because that in itself, making your first team debut in Europe is quite a daunting thing, but the way you did it and how you played yourself, what was that like? When did you first find out that you were going to play?
Okay, so there was a little bit of rumor, and then we got told the day before, and I was like, because it was just a great experience in itself, and it's just like, right, I'm just happy to be here. If I play, wow. Then you hear that you're playing, and you're like, okay. Then you start like flocking up like a bit of nerves. Just you start getting excited. I know for myself, I start getting excited because it's like I can now show what I'm about. So it's like everyone who's watching, kind of thing. I want to let Ollie know that I'm ready for this, that I can hack this level of football. So yeah, it was exciting finding out. Very exciting. Making the debut in itself, I just remember walking on the pitch, because when I get on the pitch, I don't have any nerves, because I know like I'm basically focused and locked in. But when I was walking on the pitch, because the stadium was closed in, the noise just bounced from wall to wall to wall, and it was loud. And obviously, you're hearing the music that you usually hear on TV, and you're hearing it in person. You'd be like, "This is actually happening." And of course, it happened. So buzzing. But obviously, when you're playing, you don't actually notice. Well, this is me personally, and I think this is the same for some other footballers. You notice the crowd, but you don't really tap into the crowd unless like balls out of play. Because when you're in the zone, when football's playing, your concentration levels have to be high in it. So I remember one time it went out for a throw-in against Astana, and obviously I've been locked in this whole time, gone out for a throw, and I've gone to take the throw-in now. Obviously, you have to collect the ball. I've looked at the stand, and I was like, I just had a moment of just like, I was in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is serious. But yeah, it's just the little things. That's what kind of differentiates 23s from first team, kind of thing. Of course, first team is just a different platform in itself, but then the atmosphere is a lot bigger. You can say that for sure.
So what was it like doing it at Old Trafford then? Because the full first team debut was, as you say, it was mad in itself, but the result didn't go the way we wanted it to. But at Old Trafford, it did, and it went very well in the last game of the group stage. So how different was that for you?
I just remember watching the pitch, because when you were younger, you used to like play little games when you were young, just like every like 3 times a year probably, and you just go to Old Trafford and it'll be a big thing. You do a little tour just before, but it's like, yeah, is what it is, kind of thing. And then obviously 23s, you play a few games there. Now, when I played against AZ Alkmaar, obviously you're used to not having anyone in Old Trafford, basically. And then I remember I was on the subs bench, and I was just taking it in. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be, kind of thing. And then Ollie's told me to warm up. And I was like, all right, cool. Got ready now, and I'm about to go on. And they've said my name, and I've ran onto the pitch, and you just look around you, you're just like, this is Old Trafford, this is the theatre of dreams. And obviously the home crowd is obviously going to be more appreciative of the homegrown players, kind of thing. So as soon as I heard my name and heard the roar, you can't get better than that. Yeah. Just gave me that extra bit of energy, to be honest, because I remember as soon as literally I came on, I just went on a mad one to receive a ball in behind. But it just gave me that little bit of energy, and just hearing, even though it didn't come off exactly how I wanted to, the crowd was still clapping, roaring, applauding, and just like, yeah, this is what you want, this is where you want to be, kind of thing. And again, the kind of the same thing happened for AZ Alkmaar as well. The ball's gone out of play. Like I said, when you're in the zone, you don't really focus on the crowd. Ball's gone out of play. I've gone to take the throw in, and then there's people shouting Laird, and you're like, that's my last name.
That's my name. Yeah.
That's my name. And you're just like, okay, wow. It's just mad how football can have a big impact on just like what people think of you, what people say. It's just big. It's just big. I was ecstatic. It was brilliant, man.
Brilliant. So we've talked about your journey to the first team now. Do you remember where it all started? Because Basingstoke's quite far away from Manchester. Yes. Played for Manchester United. What? Yeah. How did you have to make a lot of sacrifices? What was?
Of course. That's the thing with football, right? So let me start from when I was in Basingstoke. To be honest, I can't lie to you. Football wasn't a big part. As in, like, I wasn't really thinking about football. It was just I'm 8, 9, just enjoying whatever. And then my mum and dad just made the move to Stockport. Obviously, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. And still wasn't into that football thing, really. My first sport was actually swimming.
Really?
My dad got me into swimming. Don't get twisted, I wasn't that good at it, but it is what it is. I think I got like my 15-meter badge, and that was it. So
you're halfway, aren't you? You're halfway there. Yeah.
Halfway there.
10 more meters to go, you'll be all right.
Yeah. So I think, okay, cool. I was playing just football for my school, primary school. Just a little joke thing, to be honest. I was good at it, but I wasn't really serious about it. Like, if you were to ask me about the Premier League teams and who I support, you'll get no answer from me. I'll be like, I don't know. Then a friend of mine just said, oh, come to this club. And I just started playing there. And just kept on enjoying myself. And it came to a thing where it was like, Dad, I don't want to do swimming anymore. I want to play football. So obviously I'm playing for my local team. Then I've moved to my other local team called Stockport Junior Blues. And I'm doing well there now. And it got to a point where they were like, so what they did back then, it was like A team and B team.
Yeah.
And what they used to do is put me in the B team to strengthen that team. But then whenever it came to the tournaments, they would always, obviously with the tournaments, you do the A team in it. They would always bring me in. And obviously I didn't understand what was really going on until obviously a bit older. I was thinking, why am I in the B team kind of thing? And obviously my dad told me, I don't know kind of thing. But then my dad got a hold of it. He was like, oh yeah, it's because you need to strengthen this team. And then he asked me the question like, why do you think you're always on the tournaments and you're starting? I was like, oh yeah, because they must think highly. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm enjoying myself now, and I've gone to a tournament, right? And a scout's obviously there. Obviously, my dad and myself haven't really dealt with scouts before. And scouts at the tournament, I played well. I think I got MVP. I can't remember. I know I got man of the match for the final, anyways. And we're walking out now, and Sean, the scout, gotta thank him, of course, for getting me at Man United. But Sean, he comes up to us now, and he's like, "Hi, I work for Manchester United." Explain himself. We've been watching your son for a while, and my dad's like, "Hold on, wait, what? What's going on here?" Because obviously my dad's not really used to obviously this scout thing. So my dad's like. And obviously Sean's trying to explain himself like this is legit. This is here's my phone number.
Yeah.
It's real. And my dad's obviously a bit wary. Of course, I'm his son, so it's like I'm not gonna jeopardize my son's safety, kind of thing, because you never know what could happen, kind of thing. So he was just thinking as in like health and safety, just looking after my son. And obviously it took some convincing, I guess. And I eventually went on a trial there. And I remember because I'm so young, I was an August baby, they decided to put me with the youngest, so the year below me. And obviously I was just a bit dominant compared to them. So they were like, yeah, don't worry, we'll push you up with your age group. Push me up with your age group and never looked back since.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a ride, let's say that, it's been a ride.
Wow. So it wasn't actually football that was your first game. I think that's crazy.
No?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you reckon swimming helped you get all your athleticism to bomb down the right-hand side of the back four? You know, 'cause I know it helps. It does help a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think my dad's opinion of it really was just to survival skills. just get my swimming up. I can't lie. I think that was his main focus. I'll have to ask him about it a bit later. But I think that was the main focus, survival skills. But again, I think, to be honest, I get my family's kind of athletic anyways. So, but obviously swimming is coordination with that, learning your strokes, this and that. So of course, it's just kind of a little part of the football thing, kind of thing, helps you. So yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned you saying your family's quite athletic. We know that your cousin is in the City setup, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of family rivalry there because you're both part of the two biggest clubs in Manchester. One red, one blue. What's the rivalry like?
See, the funny thing is, I've not played against Nathaniel consistently because either he would be pushed up, or I would be injured, or he'd be injured and I'll be pushed. So I think we played in the youth levels. I think we played each other like, I think twice or 3 times, not that many times. And then it's funny because when I first like proper, he was his family, of course, but like because it's kind of like a little bit distant with it. The first time I proper started talking to him and like proper got close to him was Euros, because obviously he's in the same England team as me. I'm like, that's my family. Obviously, we shared a room together. We played centre back together for the Euros, which is unbelievable. I loved it, every moment of it. So yeah, before we actually became enemies, you can say, we were more like teammates, because under 17s is when we actually proper like knew each other and played with each other, kind of thing. Because when we were younger, hardly played against each other and it wasn't really a rivalry. But I think with me and Nathaniel, it's like he will tell me what I need to work on and like if I need to do something or if I'm not doing something right. But it's vice versa as well, and that's the relationship we have because we know where we want to be. Both of us have a goal, and it's like we will push each other to get there because it's what we want to do. It's what we've like kind of devoted our lives to since young. So yeah, you can say it's a little bit of rivalry, but it's more of like, if you need to do better, I'll tell you. And then vice versa, kind of thing. That's the relationship we have. And that's just the character he is as well. So I've got to thank him for that.
Brilliant. So one final thing I wanted to ask you was, you mentioned before, you're obviously quite athletic when it comes to playing, and that carries a sort of worry in case you get injured. Now, you've been very unlucky with injuries in the past 18 months, 2 years. What's that taken a toll on your mental health as a football player? Because, you know, constantly having injuries, it can really chip away at you as a player. So how have you been getting through each one?
Okay, so at first, the way I was dealing with it wasn't the right way. I was getting myself into a sulk kind of thing. And it's just like, my question was like, why me? Because at the time, it was like, I was flying. I was feeling good. People were saying stuff. It was like, oh, okay. Let's just keep playing football and who knows what could happen. Boom, gone, hamstring. And I was like, why now? Why me? There's how many players in the world? Why does that have to be, kind of thing? And the way I was dealing with it, it was just like I was having a sulk. I remember my parents were obviously trying to message me and this and that, and just wasn't replying. I ghosted. I just was into
Really?
training, slept. Yeah, into training, slept. Parents trying to ask how I am and this. I just literally wasn't on my phone. And that's the way I dealt with it at first. Obviously, I got to thank my family because they kind of brought me to a point where it's like, listen, it's just a phase of your life. How many years of football do you have? God willing. So just stay focused. Like, this is just a little, like I said, little setback for a major comeback. And that's what was in my head the whole time. And it has been since, every injury I've had since. So hamstring done, came back, and I can say probably I was rushed into it a bit too quickly. Done it again. And it was like, okay, now it's like, what do I do?
Second time.
Yeah, what do I do? And like, because honestly, I was feeling good. I know my strength wasn't fully there, but I was feeling good. But I wouldn't think it would snap again, kind of thing. Snapped again. I was like, what do I do? But this time I kind of dealt with it a bit better. I was more with my family, asking God to just help me through this kind of thing. And it got to a point where I had to have like a little sob, because we have this like person who looks after us at United called Fowler. And like, I just had a talk with him. I just had a sob, just helping me through it. I was like, listen, he was like, listen, you're gonna go through this, and just how you come out of it in the end. And he was like, I know you're a strong character, so let them see that strong character. It's okay to be down, but just remember who you are, kind of thing. And then ever since I've had that kind of talk, it was just like every little niggle, every little injury I had from then, it's like, don't worry about it. I feel good. I'm just gonna find a way to keep myself occupied, to work on my game, maybe just watching little clips of other people, just getting ideas, because obviously when you're injured, you can't really do much. But it's just all stepping stones. I think I needed that, the injuries for my mental toughness, because if I had it easy the whole way, and if I got crazy injury at a point in my life where it was really like, I really didn't need it at that time, who knows, I could have just thrown in the towel, kind of thing. But the fact that I've had it early and I've found a way to deal with it, and I have dealt with it, and I feel good, I think that's benefited me because of my mental toughness now. If something's happened to me now, it's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll come back stronger, I'll come back quicker. I know where I want to be. So it's just little stepping stones. I think that it was needed for me to be the player I am now, kind of thing, and the player I will be in the future.
So what advice would you give to any youngsters who are going through a major injury setback right now, based off your own experience?
It's not the end of the tunnel. It's a little setback, and make sure you have in your head that you are going to have a major comeback. Because if you don't put it into your head that this is just a minor, you're going to start worrying a bit more. You're going to start thinking of the worst. But if you put into your head, oh, this is nothing, minor setback, just wait for my major comeback, that will set you alone. Just like, if you keep having that positive mentality, keep thinking, yeah, you guys better wait, when I'm back, I'm going to be dangerous, kind of thing. Just, if you keep that in your head, you're going to go far by itself. Because with me as well, I had players who I thought, maybe I was kind of better than getting opportunities that I wasn't, because I was injured. But then another thing you need to remember is that everyone's on a different pathway, everyone's on a different journey. So there's players that I know who had it all when they were younger. All the minutes, all the people talking about them, and then if you ask about them now, it's like, where are they? So you need to remember that, cool, there might be people in front of you who you think are better than, but if you know that, just have faith in yourself, have a bit of belief in yourself, keep working on yourself, and watch it all happen. Because everyone's on a different journey. Like, just because someone may get there before you doesn't mean they'll stay there kind of thing. Stay there and like be there forever kind of thing. It might be a point where someone's there before you, but then as soon as you're there, you push them out the way kind of thing. So it's just, you have to have patience. Just, it'll be hard watching people who you know that you are better than or on par with, get the opportunities that you know you should be having. But it's just, you've got to deal with it, have patience and believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself and you have the patience and have the work ethic, there's nothing stopping you from getting there.
Really like that line, minor setback for a major comeback. That's really good. Well, thanks for coming on, Ethan. That was brilliant. I wish you the best of luck for sorting your injuries out and then in the future, breaking into that first team, hopefully challenging Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and we'll see. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy.